All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and this winery, one of my favorite in California. You know, Bruce Neyers has been the national sales manager for Kermit Lynch for, well, I think ever since Kermit Lynch started. And, well, 1971, Bruce goes back a long ways in the wine business. He was an importer. He met Kermit at that point, and Kermit opened his store. But Bruce was working for Mayacaymas winery. He went to Joseph Phelps. He was the GM there, and began making a small amount of wine. I think it was at Joseph Phelps first under his own name in the 80s, but 91 was really the first official vintage, and that was the same year that he started working for Kermit Lynch as the national sales manager. He was at Heitz, he was at Stony Hill. He's got a lot of experience, and Bruce makes very good wines. Well, Erin Jordan still consults here, and his winemaker is Tadeo Borchardt, and these guys, I mean, very talented, and the wines here, like I said, you know, he's got his estate vineyard, but they also buy fruit. Bruce has made a lot of friends over the years from some of the top vineyard sites. We started out with this tasting with the 304, which is a Chardonnay, which is named after surgical steel, I guess, so that's the no oak here. And this wine's got a lovely, precise style to it, lemon tart, white flowers, and a little lees contact. The only thing that would be missing here to call it textbook Chablis would be that seashell kind of chalky minerality you get from Chablis. But this wine's bright and fresh on the palate, some green apple, lemon citrus fruit, kind of a texture of skim milk, and really light tongue-tingly minerality on the finish. An excellent example of an un-oaked Chardonnay. At $25, these wines also, for me, very reasonably priced for the quality in the bottle. The Merlot from Neyers Ranch in Con Valley up next. This is a cooler year, 2011. You notice the restraint in this wine, but still has some nice dark cherry and plum fruit, along with a good hand of sweet herbs, some milk chocolate-like notes, a good amount of ripe blackberry and plum fruit on the tongue with notes of dark chocolate, tobacco, and sweet herbs on the finish. Nice length and complexity here. An excellent example of Merlot at $42. Zinfandel, Del Barba Vineyard from Contra Costa County, and this is purchased fruit here, one of the best areas in California for Zinfandel. And brambly raspberry fruit here with some red licorice spice, pretty floral notes. Nice hand of spice here on the nose, and juicy fruit on the palate showing through with a good amount of that zesty spice. And this wine's actually got a little structure for a Zinfandel here. Nice freshness on the finish. An excellent example of this wine. Actually got better on the second day. I raised my score a little bit here. $34. The Sage Canyon wine, which is a blend of Sonoma Coast and Contra Costa grapes, Carignan, Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. Good hand of that fresh floral kind of garrigue bouquet you get from the wines of the Southern Rhone, violet, lavender, exotic spices, a good amount of ripe fruit, black raspberry and cherry. Very enticing bouquet there, hints of black pepper spice, thick raspberry coulis-like fruit on the tongue with a nice zesty, spicy finish, and a good amount of those floral notes in there. Man, an excellent example of a Rhone-style red from California at $25. 2012 Syrah, the old Lakeville Road up next. I wasn't familiar with this vineyard, but supposedly he's making it for a while, and a good amount of dark plum and cherry liqueur-like fruit, sweet tobacco spice, a little black licorice, and some violet floral notes on the nose. A big and chewy wine on the tongue with layers of that dark cherry liqueur-like fruit, plum, and dark licorice spice, and fine tannins. This wine's got nice freshness, though, and those pretty violet floral notes showing up through the finish. Excellent juice at $39. And then the Cabernets, the Neyers Ranch, 2010, 100% varietal, sees about 40% new oak. A very well-endowed bouquet here of dark currant cassis-like fruit, hints of cigar box spice, black earth, mocha, fresh, loamy, earthy notes coming out on the second day. A big but balanced style of Cabernet with layers of dark currant cassis berry fruit. A lot of tannins here, firm-handed tannins, good acidity to match. This wine finishes a bit dry. This 2010 vintage needs a little bit of time, but some lovely dark spices and loamy notes at the end. And needs a bit of time, like I said, but everything in proportion here. Most excellent juice, even better. On the second day, the Neyers Cabernet AME, which this vineyard was planted by David Abreu in 1998. It's the rockiest part of their vineyard. Took 2 years to clear just the rocks out of here. And 100% varietal. Very unique earthy bouquet to this wine. Fine herbs, kind of fresh split rock minerality, espresso, pencil lead, dark currant, cassis fruit. Very distinct minerality and a strong herbal note to this wine on the first day, which kind of balanced out on the second day with a little bit of a green note there as well. But on the second day, this wine really showing brilliantly the zesty blackberry fruit on the tongue and that strong herbal component to the nose still showing through the finish, but lovely balance. This wine, like I said, opened up really nicely. I even upped my score on this for the second day. 2011, a challenging year, but this is where great producers like Neyers really shine. This wine is most excellent juice, and at $93, it should be. And to finish off the tasting, back to Chardonnay. This is the Carnero Chardonnay, which is the bread and butter wine of the winery. They make about 6,000 cases of this wine and 25% new barrels. It's sourced from 3 different vineyard sites. A good amount of that ripe tropical fruit here on the nose with hints of lightly toasted oak spice, touch of vanilla, nutmeg, and really forward, rich California Chardonnay with a nice hand of lightly toasted oak and good freshness and balance. Not a blockbuster style, but lovely balance and a nice hand of oak here. Excellent juice at $34. That's what we had to drink with our friends from Neyers. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.